What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back. Today we are taking a look at one of the many newly released diorama sets from Joy Toy. This particular set is the Mecha Depot meeting area, and I've been actually waiting to get my hands on this to see what these things are all about. Gone ahead and cleaned off my review area just so we can get this thing put together on camera. Taking a look at the front of the box, you can see down here in the corner it says 1/18 scale, so this will work for all your 3 3/4 inch and 4-inch figures. Looking at the back of the box, there's some great pictures of what this thing actually looks like, and it's set up with some of their figures. Over here you can see there's a dry erase board, and you can actually write on the dry erase board, which was kind of neat. On the top of the box it says Mecha Depot meeting area, and the same thing on the bottom of the box. We're going to go ahead and take everything out of the package, lay it on the table, and see if we can't put this thing together. Well, here we have everything taken out of the box, and amazingly, there was quite a bit stuffed in that small package. What is also included is the instruction sheet. Let me grab that. And here's a great picture of what it's going to look like. If you open it up, it has the inventory list, and this shows you everything that should be included in your package. When I flip it around, it actually gives you the assembly instructions. Pretty straightforward and looks pretty easy. Let's go over the inventory of what's included. First, we'll take a look at the chair pieces. And right here is all the chair pieces with 6 stands, the bottom pieces, and the backrests. So that's all the chairs. Over here there's 2 tables. So there's 4 legs and 2 tabletops. There's vertical supports back here, and there's 4 of those, and 2 back walls, 2 pegboards, and those pegboards are to actually hold on the whiteboards, and there's 2 of those. There's 2 horizontal pieces right here, 2 yellow guardrails, or orange, and 2 gray guardrails. And there's actually 4 of these great looking storage units. And we have 6 floor pieces. And lastly, there's 10 of these little Lego style clips. And this will actually hold the floor pieces and some of the uprights together. Alright, let's see if we can't get this thing put together. I've gone ahead and moved all the furniture off to the side, and this will give us a great flat work area to actually put this meeting area together. And according to the instructions, you take these floor pieces and, well, just look at the detail on these things. You flip these over, you line them up like so, and you take one of these Lego style pegs, you put them in the holes right there, and you push them down, and that holds those together. I'll go ahead and speed this up and make this quick for you. And here we have all the floor panels clipped together. And looking at this thing, this is deceivingly larger than what I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's level this out and continue on. Now that this is laid flat, or as flat as it's going to be, we're going to take the back walls, the vertical uprights, and attach it to the floor. Now take note when you're looking at these back wall pieces, there's pegs on this side, and one on the top, and there's nothing on the bottom. And that's the actual bottom of the wall. We'll take one of these vertical pieces, and we'll peg it into the hole, and I find if you wiggle it a little bit like so, it goes in a lot easier than trying to force it in. Same thing for the other side. And these fit nice and snug, and I think that's due to a little bit of the paint overspray. So we'll take the horizontal piece, line up the 3 holes, and these do fit on a little bit snug. There we go. And take the last 2 pegs, you port those in the floor right here, give it a little wiggle, and you might have to use a little bit of muscle to do this. Again, I think the paint on these pegs are making a little bit tight. And there we go. There's one wall, and we'll do the same thing for the other wall. Again, take the vertical piece, plug it into the hole here, Same on this side. Now, it doesn't matter which way is facing out because these walls look the same on both sides. Let's try putting this in before we put on the horizontal piece. Okay, push it until it clicks so you can hear it. There we go. Trying to line this up is a little difficult, but if we turn it around, if I can do this carefully without hitting my camera, you actually get a better look at what's going on back here. So rather than forcing it in, I'm going to try to wiggle this in so I don't break anything. There we go. Everything's nice and flush. And for the last piece, we'll put on the top gray horizontal clip. Push it until it clicks. And there we have it. We're going to take one of these Lego style connectors, connect the two walls together up top here. Try to line these up. And man, these fit in pretty tight. There we go. We spin it around. And now we're getting a really good look at what this is going to look like. Now that we have the actual walls in place, I will say that off camera I had to use a little bit of force and tap these things down because they were a really tight fit, but nothing broken. Everything's sitting flush. So let's get on with the whiteboards. First, you start with the pegboard here, and you can see there's a lot of pegs on this thing. And on the back side, there's only 4 pegs. And these pegs actually port into these holes up top here on both sides. You take the whiteboard and you flip it over, and you can see there's 4 holes. And what you have to do is line it up on this pegboard. So you center it up. You find where it's going to line up, like here. Looks like those two will line up. And they fall evenly on this side. It is a little tricky with all these pegs sticking up. There we go, and you give it a squeeze. Squeeze on this side. Well, that was pretty easy. Now you take this and you actually port those in the back wall. You line up the 2 peg holes up top, little squeeze, and voila. Let's do the same for the other side. Take your whiteboard, your pegboard, and there is no up and down to this, so it doesn't matter which way you do it. Again, we'll line it up right here. Let's see if I can do this on camera again. There we go. A little tricky. There we go. A little pressure. There. And same thing. You line it up to the back wall and it plugs in relatively easily. And there we go. There's the whiteboards. Next, we'll put the tables together. And you can see these are made out of plastic and they have this nice shiny look on one side. Looks like metal. On the back side, there's 4 holes. We grab 2 of the legs. Same thing with these. They're plain on one side and nice and shiny on the other. So that's the outside. You see the 2 peg holes right here. And these line up right here. And you push them down so you can feel them kind of click in place. Like that. There's one leg. Do the same for the other side. Line this up. Line that up. And there we go. There's one table. Let's put the second table together. Same thing with this. There's the 2 legs, the tabletop. Line up the pegs. Push everything in until it sits flush. Same with this side. And there we go. There's your 2 meeting tables. Let's go ahead and try to put some of these chairs together. Now, this is the bottom part and the back part of the chair. Let me grab the stand for the chair right here. And there's 6 sets of these. And these are really easy. This just slides into the groove. You flip the chair over. You see the port right there, and the stand just pegs into the port. just like that. I'll go ahead and put the rest together and speed this up for you, so we'll get this done. And that is the last chair. There we go. It's starting to look like something now. All right, let's move on to the bookcases. There's actually 4 of these. And these are absolutely fantastic. They're blue with a black wash to them. Great looking storage. And you can see on one end there's 4 legs, and on the top here there's 2 legs. And I would assume that they go in this direction. I guess it really doesn't matter, but this is how I'm going to do it. And according to the directions, let's get these chairs out of the way. These actually sit underneath the whiteboards. Right here. And here. And again, these are completely modular. You don't have to set it up this way. I'm just going with the directions. Oh, let me flip this over. And this one fits in here like that. Let me slide the chairs back, the tables back a little bit to make some room. Put some chairs back here, and the last 2 chairs on the end. Okay, for the last pieces, there's 4 guardrails. They give you 2 gray guardrails and 2 of these orangish yellow guardrails. Now, according to the box art, these orange type guardrails go on either side. And I guess it really doesn't matter, but we're going to follow the box art. These just port into these 2 holes here. I would say be a little careful with these because these are thin. So if you're going to push them into the holes, I would recommend down near the bottom of the guardrail, put the pressure so you're not going to snap anything. There we go. And for the last 2 guardrails, they actually show these on the back end right here. And again, you don't have to use these things, but I'm just going according to the instructions just to show you what these things look like. These port in right here. And there we go. The meeting area. And I wanted to point out that there's actually 2 of these Lego type clips left over. Now this is actually fantastic, so don't lose these and keep these in your inventory because I think these are used for other dioramas if you want to add on to the either side. Or if you happen to break one, you have a couple of spares. So throw these in your inventory box and put those aside. Let's bring in a couple of Joy Toy figures and see how they look in this thing. I'll grab one of my Paratrooper Company guys. I have him in the seated position, and we'll put him right here. Let's bring in one of my female figures. We'll put her here like she's getting ready to write something on the whiteboard. Grab another gentleman and we'll put him over here like he's just entering the meeting area. This gives you an idea of how these things are going to look and work together. And of course back here you have plenty of shelves for storage for their helmets or weapons. The figures do fit in these chairs relatively easily. You just got to learn how to twist their thighs and get them in the seated position. The texture on the floor looks fantastic. It's got a nice raised feel to it like diamond plate. Back here is the whiteboards, and if you don't want, you can actually take the whiteboard off, use those pegs to hang weapons on. The size of this thing is, like I said earlier, pretty deceiving. I didn't think it was going to be this big right out of the box. And with Joy Toy making more dioramas, it's going to be interesting to see what these things look like when you actually add on to them. Now I want to take a moment and talk about these chairs for a second. Let me grab one of these and show you all the fantastic detail on these things. These things look really nice, but I will say that they do look a little small to me. Now, don't get me wrong, do they work for the 1/18 scale figures? Yes, they do. But they could have been a little bit bigger. Let me show you how he sits in this thing. Let me get this table out of the way and just kind of give you a profile look. See, if you manipulate your figures correctly, he will fit in this thing, no problem at all. But hopefully, with the later coming sets, they make these chairs just a little bit taller. And I have to say, that's my only gripe, if you will. Well, with every negative, I try to give 2 positives, and this is an absolute fantastic set. You won't be disappointed. The colors are great. I love how it looks like it's been worn in and used. And it actually brings life to your figures. If you have the means, go ahead and pick it up. And I'd love to hear how you're going to use this set and other diorama sets in your collection. Feel free to leave a comment below. This is going to wrap up my review of the Mecha Depot meeting area from Joy Toy. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching. And if you like what you see, join the community and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to help a fellow collector out and share your knowledge.